Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. The coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
COVID-19.
The coronavirus.
More than 200 new cases.
627 people dying in just the past 24 hours, the worst yet.
Millions of Americans have joined together in a shared national sacrifice to halt the spread of this horrible disease.
I used to wonder what it was like to live inside a fictional dystopian world like ones I would read in books. Now I know. It is unbelievable. While there are so many tragedies swooping through nations like fire, there's beauty too. Beauty in the trees that finally have air to breathe. Beauty in the birds that feel safe enough to come out and sing their songs. Beauty in the flowers that have pushed their way through the soil and cherished the sun that has finally shone through the smog. Beauty in the streams and rivers that run clear and clean. Beauty is everywhere, though most people don't notice it. People are too scared of the virus threatening to seep through closed doors and windows. Before the veil of stillness, I complained about time being scarce. Now I have all the time in the world. Maybe it's time to embrace it and use it to make little changes in myself. I can absorb stories of people who haven't yet lived through this time, flipping through their pages and feeling their emotions, taking pieces of it with me once the cover is finally closed. I can use these stories to make my own, going on adventures through the world and discovering new things. I can reflect on my past and make peace with it, finding a new appreciation in these things I never thought to appreciate. I can look to the future and imagine an exciting life living in a city and looking towards the sky. If this time ever ends, I will have used it well and emerge a person I am proud of being. If. The truth is, I don't know if this quarantine will ever end. There are little escapes through the week when we can pretend that everything is normal. Sometimes I fantasize about escaping this locked-up world, but in reality, there is nowhere to escape to when the entire planet is on lockdown. Perhaps I could take a spaceship to find a planet habitable enough to walk freely without propping a meter stick against my hip. I think the only thing making this whole thing bearable are the nightly dreams that find their way into my consciousness. It is like, for a moment, I'm not confined and I am set free to explore the boundaries of my mind. They all feel so real, and if I close my eyes and never open them, I won't forget. It's like my mind is aware that I am deteriorating inside these painted walls and creates a new universe for me to explore, one much more vivid and, when the disease-infested reality, was just science fiction. Another thing about nighttime that I appreciate, when the sun is dipped below the horizon and stars litter the sky, is night driving. Driving in the car at night, or more specifically being in the car at night, has always been one of my favorite things. You drive past people watching TV snugly in their houses, their windows lit up and open. Everyone is tucked away in their homes, oblivious to a 17-year-old girl moving past. This hasn't changed. Quarantine has changed almost everything, but the feeling of driving at night remains the same. The cool wind drifts past the car and through my fingertips as my family soars over the dimly lit streets with an exciting destination in mind. This destination is usually ice cream. Though most restaurants have shut their doors to the public, ice cream places continue to reach their hands out through a drive-through window, handing out cold and creamy pieces of hope. This hope is just the beginning. Shops have begun to hesitantly open their blinds, dancing around the idea of opening their doors. On warm, sunny days, hundreds of people come out of their boarded-up houses to embrace the little things they have taken for granted. This quarantine has taken a lot of things from us, but people are finally coming together and looking at the world in a new light. We realize the injustices that have been sitting untouched for decades. We see the beauty of a world outside the TV that offers so much more. All I can do now is wait, and perhaps close my eyes, letting my consciousness sweep me away into another world.